formerly named back in the way back when the weather was a lot warmer, although we have a beautiful night here for football. Pennsville coming down, making the long trip from up close to the Delaware River down here to play Middle Township in one of the consolation games in this crazy high school football season that is 2020. Each team getting 2 extra games, and of course that is if they can play 2 extra games. We have a lot of teams that have been shutting down or are on quarantine and can't play until next week or even Thanksgiving, but these 2 teams are healthy and ready to go, and hopefully we have a good football game here tonight for under what are absolutely beautiful conditions, buddy, for mid-November here.
Yeah, and again, Brian, like you talk about, there's not a drop of wind here tonight, so as long as it stays that way, we can deal with you know what? It's football weather, so we can deal with it, and it'll all be good. This Pennsville team, they come into this contest tonight with a record of 2-3, and they've lost 3 in a row. But the one thing about Pennsville, Brian, is they can put points on the board. They have a game. You know, they beat Lower Cape May 20-7. They beat Clayton 44-22. Then they were beaten by a pretty good Salem team. And the following game against Woodstown, they were shut out 2 in a row. Then they came back, scored 28 points in a loss to Pennsgrove. So this team does have some talent. They do have some weapons. And Middle Township, coming into this game, Coach Frank Rigitano was telling me he's going to be starting 6 or 7 freshmen tonight.
Yeah, Middle has some injuries going, and speaking of which, one of the key moves is Matt Gariano, who normally plays a wide receiver or a wingback position, is actually moving to the guard position tonight. So that's how desperate they are. With a lot of players hurt, and as Buddy said, they're going to play an awful lot of freshmen. A little bit more on Pennsville. Their top running back is Sean McDade. He's rushed for 669 yards through their 5 games. He's got 5 touchdowns, and they will throw it a little bit. Kyle Taylor has a very good completion percentage at has 42 completions in just 65 attempts for 345 yards, but he has thrown 4 interceptions, so that might be where Middle Township would like to take advantage and maybe force some turnovers by this Pennsville team that comes in here at 2-3. They are coached by Mike Healy, and for Middle Township, they won their 2nd game of the year, and they've lost 3 straight as well. And it's a big game when Bob Hollywood Ridgeway makes his way into the Buddy Tarbotton wing of the Memorial Field press box here this evening. So, Middle Township, their leading runner is Jermaine Jones, a freshman. So they are. It is a very, very young Middle Township team, and we'll see how they perform here tonight. These teams were supposed to play earlier this season, and Pennsville had a COVID issue and had to shut down for a little bit, and Middle Township ended up picking up Audubon that week and lost the game on the road. It was supposed to be a Middle home game, and then they went to Audubon and lost, and now they were able to get matched back up in this consolation game here. So captains are out on the field now for the coin toss, and for Middle Township, it's senior Jaden Matthews, 2-way offensive and defensive lineman, and as we've mentioned before, buddy, no group captains this year because of all the COVID measures. Just one captain and the head coach each go out for the pregame instructions. So Middle Township will wear the black jerseys with orange pants and black helmets, and Pennsville will wear their white jerseys with the blue pants and the blue helmets with some gold accents. And
Brian, you talk about the one player from each team, just one captain goes out, and it's been my pet peeve all season. That's a COVID measure, but when the game starts, once the game starts, the kickoff is received and the teams line up, You got 11 players and 11 players' faces. I mean, breathing across a very small area on each other.
Well, the one thing that I would say about the COVID measures, buddy, is that nothing's been proven that anything has spread in any of these outdoor games. So, I mean, so you have to credit what the NJSIA has put in, because there have not been any, at least as far as we know, direct spread during a game.
And
Middle Township, buddy, has. I thought that Middle won the toss, but actually they indicated that Pennsville won the toss. They will receive. So Middle will get the ball in the second half, and Middle will kick off from the west toward the east end zone. Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
You know, one of the things, too, as you had just said, with the outbreak of COVID, seems like it's happening at different schools almost every day.
All right, we're going to take a break. They're going to play the national anthem. We'll come back with the opening kickoff right after this. 2-minute timeout on 98.7 The Coast and CoastSportsToday.com.
Are you after this?
November 27th and 28th through downtown Avalon. Enjoy fun, safe, socially distanced family activities, including plenty of live entertainment, free giveaways, and on Friday, Santa will illuminate Avalon's downtown lights and holiday tree at Veterans Plaza. Come to Avalon's Festive Friday and Snowfest Saturday this season and support your local merchants. For more information, visit avalonborough.net.
Wood and block and mow. That's how we roll that 19 hole. Driveways, sidewalks, pavers and mow. That's how we roll that 19 hole. So if you need some work, don't be a jerk. Give us a call, that 19 hole. 522-7210. 522-7210. So you can roll with 19 hole.
The number one choice for a lunch, dinner, or a party to celebrate a special occasion is the Bellevue Tavern, Cape May Courthouse. The Bellevue Tavern offers happy hour daily, a great way to unwind with your friends after work. Monday night, it's 2-for-1 apps in the bar at the Bellevue, and Thursday night, Yings and Wings with half-price delivery. For your next office party, reception, birthday, or any celebration at all, eat upstairs at the Bellevue. The Bellevue Tavern has early bird dinner Monday through Thursday, just $14.95 before 6 p.m. The Bellevue Tavern, Route 9, Cape May Courthouse.
Cooper Levinson, Attorneys at Law, is a proud supporter of the community. The law office was formed in 1957 with just 2 attorneys and now has 75 attorneys with offices in New Jersey, Delaware, and Las Vegas. Cooper Levinson believes in client service, corporate responsibility, and dedication to the community. They don't just serve local school districts as attorneys, but also as involved residents, parents, and community volunteers. See our community service in action on Facebook or Twitter. Just search #Cooper Levinson.
High school football on 98.7.
Hi, back at Memorial Field. Brian Kniff, Buddy Tarbot, about to kick it off here, Middle Township in Pennsville. Thanks for joining us on 98.7 The Coast. Norm Donahue pushing all the right buttons back at the studio. If you're watching live on CoastSportsToday.com or the Coast Sports Today Facebook page, Chris Knoll handling the video production for us here this evening. And again, if you're watching on video, Middle Township moving from right to left across your screen. Pennsville in white will receive. And here's Middle Township to kick off. And it is Jerome Licata that has it on the tee. On a beautiful night for football. It's a high, relatively short kick, taken at about the 15. Running it up around the outside. Middle does a good job to string that out. And short of the 30-yard line, running out of bounds is the return man. And Pennsville will start 1st and 10. That was David Muntz, and he was chased out of bounds by the freshman Isaiah Carr-Wing. Did a good job stringing that out. Made sure that Muntz couldn't turn the corner. So Pennsville starts at its own 27.
And here it's going to be interesting to see Pennsgrove, what they do on this
So here's a quarterback keeper by Muntz, and he dives forward, and he's got a real good gain on first down, a pickup of about 8.
They set that play up very well, Brian. A little fake to the inside. Muntz then took it around the right end. The line did a good job, and he was able to, as you said, get that ball about an 8-yard pickup. He gets it out to the 36.
Muntz tosses, fumbles. I believe Middle Township has it, and they do. Fumble was recovered, I believe, by Luke Salvo, and that is the case. Luke Salvo with the recovery, and it was a bad toss thrown behind the running back, and Middle Township will have it 1st and 10 at the Pennsville 35-yard line. So an early opportunity here for Middle. And they often operate without a huddle. Here's Brett Knapp at quarterback. He's in the shotgun, takes the snap, keeps it, dives forward. He's going to pick up maybe 2. So Knapp down to the 33-yard line for Middle Township.
It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8. Coming up on the 11-minute mark here in the opening quarter.
Low snap. And busting it outside and running inside the 25 for a first down is Brett Knapp. I think he wanted to hand that off to Jeremiah Jones. That might have been the play, but when the snap came back funky, Knapp kept it and ran it all the way to the 23 for a first down.
And Brian, Knapp showed some very good awareness. One, he was able to keep his concentration, field that bad snap, and then he did more than just make some positive yardage. He had a nice run there, picking up that first down.
Now he's back to pass. He's going to throw. It's tipped but caught and tackled immediately was Isaiah Carr Wing. After a gain of, let's see where they mark this. Looks like it might be 4 or 5.
That's going to be a good spot by the officials.
2nd down and 6 for Middle. Knapp takes the snap. He's back to pass again. Fakes. He's going to float it toward the end zone. Too high and incomplete.
Good pass coverage that time by Pennsville. The Eagles were not fooled at all.
He was looking for Matt Barkus.
This is Barkus' first game back, Brian. He's been out with an injury.
All right, here's Middle on 3rd down and 6 from the 17-yard line. Handoff to Johnson, and he will run it in.
Well, he went right up the middle of the field. The offensive line for the Panthers did a great job.
I said Johnson, buddy. It's Jones. Jeremiah Jones on the touchdown run, and Middle Township takes a 6-0 lead. 17-yard touchdown run on 3rd and 6. Licata on for the extra point kick. Knapp is the holder. And the kick wasn't perfect, but it was good enough. Splits the uprights, and Middle Township leads at 7-0. 9:55 to go first quarter. Back after this 30-second break on 98.7 The Coast. Nothing Middle Township, 9:55 to go first quarter. And it was Jeremiah Jones on a 17-yard run to give Middle Township the lead.
And as Brian said, that extra point, that kick by Licata, it did get over the uprights. It was more like a knuckleball, but you know what? Middle Township coach Frank Rigitano, he will take it.
Another high but short kick. Muntz takes it at about the 13. This time runs straight ahead. Stutter stepping his way across the 30. Still on his feet at the 35. And finally taken down at about the 41.
And that was a nice return by David Muntz. He made a couple players from Middle Township miss with a couple nice shifty moves there in the middle of the field till he was finally brought down on the 41-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10 now for Pennsville.
Well, Pennsville turned the ball over on their second offensive play, and that led to the middle touchdown. Here's Muntz in the shotgun. It's a toss, trying to sweep the outside and getting a first down and more, and running it out for about a 14-yard gain.
That was Sean McDade, Brian, on that call. McDade is senior, and they did a good job again that time, the left side of the Pennsville offensive line, and he was able to get deep into the Panther secondary.
This time they hand it to McDade. He runs straight ahead, cuts it outside. He's down the sideline and finally knocked out of bounds inside the 25 near the 20.
But I think that's going to come back.
Yeah, there is a flag down, buddy, right at the line of scrimmage, right in the area of holding. And you can see the players already walking back, reacting. And it is a hold, and that's a huge break for Middle and a tough one for Pennsville. A 25-yard gain or so there is negated by this 10-yard holding penalty.
Yeah, McDade coming into this contest tonight, Brian. In 5 games, he's rushed for 669 yards. So he's definitely going to be the guy that they're going to go to often.
It's a 9-yard loss. High school football, they're spot of the foul penalties. McDade hit at the line of scrimmage, breaks that tackle, and then finally dragged out of bounds. And Pennsville bench wanted a late hit, and I think what had happened was a Middle player had actually stumbled and fallen on McDade, and thus there was no call there. It was a pickup of about 4.
And that was a good job in pursuit of Middle Township, Brian.
Yes. Back to passes, Muntz. Fires. That is caught. Zach Morrison. Still short of the first down.
But again, it's 3rd down now. It's 3rd and we'll call it 7. The Pennsville is picking up some yardage in chunks. Small chunks, and there Middle Township.
Middle Township just went offside.
And that's going to be a 5-yard encroachment penalty against the Panthers.
Yeah, that's gonna change a lot, because now you're certainly inside the 40 and 4 down territory here on 3rd and 2. So.
Yeah, that's a good point, Brian. This gives Pennsville the opportunity to really rethink their play calling.
They hand it to McDade, and he stopped short, and he may not have even gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, if he did get back to the line of scrimmage, he was fortunate, because that time Middle Township did an outstanding job.
So it's 4th and 2. We'll see what Pennsville does here. Looks like they're keeping the offense on the field at the Middle Township 39. So kind of a big play early in the game here. Middle leading 7-0. 7:45 to go, first quarter. 4th and 2 for Pennsville. Muntz hands to McDade, and he'll have the first down and more inside the 35, and finally down at about the 33. So he ends up picking up about 7 there.
Well, again, that time, David Muntz, he takes the snap, steps back, puts it in the belly of McDade, and McDade just goes through that left side of the Pennsville offensive line and easily picks up the first down.
Oh, high snap, and Muntz goes up to grab it and then does the right thing, basically goes into the fetal position as he goes down, and this will be a loss of about 6.
Yeah, again, another exchange right there, that time between the center and the quarterback.
So they've had a couple of issues handling the ball here. They already have a turnover. And then the high snap there, 2nd and 16. Pennsville up to the line quickly and ready to go. It's a toss to McDade. McDade through the line and taken down. That's a nice play. A really nice play by David Julian on the outside and held McDade to only a 3-yard gain.
Yeah,
because at first it looked like McDade had all kinds of room out there, and Julian just came from his linebacker position and closed it down. Call it a pickup of 4. It'll bring up 3rd and 12.
Yeah, Brian, it did. It looked like there was a lot of grass out there for McDade to travel on, and Julian just made a really good football play.
Back to passes, Muntz. Looking, steps up, fires downfield, and threw it behind his intended receiver down at the 5-yard line, and it's incomplete.
Wow, and to tell you what, Brian, he had his receiver open. If he'd have thrown that ball towards the pylon, on the right side, that would have been probably 6 points. But there was pressure, so that made it a little more difficult.
Yeah, he was throwing on the run there, which may have led to that inaccurate pass. So credit Middle's defensive line there. So they're going to go for it on 4th and 12 inside the middle 35. Muntz back to pass. He's looking. He's going to load up and throw it deep, and it is tipped and knocked down. And Middle Township will take over. Brett Knabb tipped it. And then there was a diving effort by the intended receiver, Gabe Watson, but he couldn't come up with it, and Middle will take over on downs. And Knabb did a good job closing to the football, but he got himself in between the ball and the intended receiver, and was able to get his hands on it.
As you called it, Brian, he did do a good job, but in that instance, he's got to make sure he gets enough of the ball to swat it down, because the Pennsville wide receiver did have an opportunity.
Here's a handoff to Jones. Gets a few up across the 35 out to about the 38. Picks up maybe 4.
I mean, that would have been a heck of a catch if that receiver was able to come down with it. But nonetheless, Middle Township with the ball. It's now 2nd down and 9. The Panthers on their own 38-yard line. Or excuse me, 2nd and 7 rather.
Here's a handoff again. And that one. To Jones goes for about 2 yards. And they'll bring up 3rd down and 4. At the 40-yard line. Middle leading 7-0. And we'll be inside 5 minutes to play at the closure of this play here in the first quarter. Jones now moves to the opposite side of the quarterback, Brett Knabb. Knabb takes the snap. He's back to pass. Throws it out in the flat. It's caught. And it's going to be a short pickup. They hit Luke Salvo with the pass, but it's only a gain of 2.
Yeah, it's going to bring up about 4th and 3.
Yeah, it's going to 4th and short. Yeah, short 3, long 2, and Middle Township with the ball on their side of midfield is electing the punt here with this 7-0 lead. I think it's a good move, and maybe make Pennsville go the length here or go much longer than giving them a short field if you don't get it. Kind of a high snap, but the kick is away. It's a low line drive, and it's going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this ended up being this went off the side of the foot here, buddy, and this is marked all the way up at midfield. So it was Brett Knabb punting, and his punt only went about 10 or 12 yards. And you could tell he was trying to maybe angle it down the sideline, but he got it off the side of his foot, and it went out of bounds much earlier than he wanted to.
Well, you're right. That made it was a 12-yard punt. So now Pennsville will take over First down and 10 on the 50-yard line. So Middle's defense has got to come up big again.
Muntz takes the snap, hands off to McDade, hitting the backfield and then taken down after a gain of maybe 1. And that was David Julian on the tackle. And they're going to say he only got back to the line of scrimmage, so it will be 2nd and 10. Another real good play against the run by David Julian, Middle Township's standout middle linebacker. Back to passes, Muntz. Fires. It is incomplete.
Well, that was actually a very good defensive play, Brian.
Yeah, that was Dom Caraballo, buddy. It was a really good defensive play, and you know he can't play wide receiver right now because he's got a broken right wrist and he's got a cast on, but he can play defensive back and make plays like that, and that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a catch. The Pennsville wide receiver had the football, and Caraballo, with his good arm, good hand, was able to rip it out.
Muntz back to pass, looking. He's loading up, throwing it deep downfield, and it's incomplete. Great coverage down there. Caraballo was underneath, and Nab was over the top, and it was Nab who ended up getting the deflection, and it's incomplete. And Pennsville, let's see what they do. They'll most likely punt here on 4th and 10 at midfield.
Yeah, it's going to make an interesting play call for Pennsville coach Mike Healy. But Brian, as you said, you had both Nab and Caraballo back there, and they excellent job on the wide receiver.
Low snap, and now running with the football, and then punting it and having it blocked, and Middle Township has it.
Yeah, that time, a combination of errors by Pennsville.
I think it was Luke Salvo, buddy.
I think it was. And again, you really got to give a lot of credit, Brian, to this Middle Township defense. I mean, in the early going, when, Sean McDade looked like he was going to be a handful, and I'm not saying he's not going to be, but Middle's made some nice adjustments defensively with some group tackling, pursuing as a team.
All right, Nab in the shotgun as usual, takes the snap. He's going to run, and he is turning the corner. And Nab did a nice job there to get about a 3-yard gain after initially it looked like it might have been a loss. And I hate missing numbers because you want to try to credit kids when they make a nice play, but there was a middle player on the outside who held a block just long enough to let Nab get around the corner there and turn what looked like a loss into a gain. Here's Nab, tripped up, and that's a loss of 3. Nice play out there by Pennsville's Derek Taylor. And if Taylor doesn't make that play, Nab looked like he had a lot of real estate over there going off right tackle.
Yeah, he did, Brian, and I'll tell you what, credit to Derek Taylor, because he made a nice shoestring tackle to make sure Nab went down.
Nab in the shotgun on 3rd down and 10. Passing down here, Pennsville looks like it wants to blitz. They are coming. Nab throws over the middle. Oh, great adjustment, but couldn't come up with the football. And that was Barkas. Ball was thrown behind him, and he stopped and dove back for it. It was a great effort, but he couldn't come up with it. And Middle Township will punt here on 4th and 10 at the 47-yard line of Pennsville. 2:17 to go, first quarter. Middle leads 7-0. Capitalized on an early turnover by Pennsville. And now here's the rugby-style kick, and it's a good one. And it bounces, and can Middle keep it in? They do. Middle Township keeps it from going into the end zone, and this ball is going to be downed at the 1-yard line. So it's a 46-yard punt. And actually, what will happen here is a middle player batted it back to keep it from going into the end zone, and then a second middle player grab the football back out at the 2-yard line, so they'll mark it there.
Sure, well, either way, that was a great effort. Middle Township special teams coming through big time. And the awareness, one, to get down there and get to that football and to be able to bat it back instead of allowing it to go into the end zone, or the special teams player touching it when he was in the end zone, that would have made it a touchback too.
Quarterback sneak. And Muntz gives the team some breathing room as he actually gets out across the 5 and gains about 3 or 4 yards.
And it's going to bring up a second down and we'll say about 7 yards to go.
Muntz now goes back into the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands to McDade. McDade fumbled the football. I think Middle has it. They do have it. Fumbled the ball as he came through the line. The middle player punched it out of there. And recovering the football is Middle Township at the 11-yard line.
And that was that was Gariballo. No, it wasn't. That was number 20. There's a couple errors on the Middle Township roster that we were handed. But he made a great defensive play. A Middle Township player was able to dislodge the ball. It's going to be 1st and 10 now for the Panthers with the ball on the 11-yard line.
Yeah, Nab keeps, and he gets about a yard. Yeah, we'll try to get that player, but the player for Middle who recovered that fumble was not listed on the roster. And it drives you insane, doesn't it, bud? Especially when we always go up and ask, are there any roster changes? No, there's none. And then you have a kid make a play who's not on the roster. So, but we'll get that later for everybody. 2nd down and 9 for Middle Township at the 10-yard line. And they hand it off to Jones, and he gets only back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll bring up 3rd and 9 at the 10. Certainly a passing down here, I would think, buddy, because Middle does have a good kicker, and they are in field goal range. So if they don't get the 1st down here, they may elect to try the relatively short field goal. So 3rd down and 9 from the Pennsville 10. 18 seconds to go in the first quarter. Clock is running. Nab takes the snap. He's looking. Fires over the middle. It's intercepted.
Oh, wow.
Intercepted at the goal line and running down the field and up to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, that time
is Pennsville, and the interception, buddy, was made by Anthony Durish.
And that right there, Brian, I mean, Brett Nab was not under any pressure. He had a lot of time. That was just a poorly thrown football. He had a couple of his receivers down, around the goal line, but the ball got away from him.
Yeah, he just threw that high.
It got away from him, and as you called.
Empty backfield here for Pennsville on 1st and 10. Muntz back to pass. He's going to keep it instead and run across the left side, and he's taken down. And another great play by David Julian. Muntz looked like he was going to have all kinds of running room, and he reached out and pulled him down for only a 2-yard gain, and that is the final play of the first quarter. 7-0 Middle Township. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this on 98.7 The Coast.
Could it have been Matt Frame?
Could be. All right, we are We are back at Middle Township at Memorial Field. Brian Kniff, Buddy Tarbotten, 7-0. Middle Township leading Pennsville, but Middle just lost the golden opportunity there. They recovered a fumble at the 11-yard line, but then they throw an interception of their own, and it is Pennsville with the football now, 2nd down and 8 after the first quarter ends.
We believe that number 20 that wasn't listed is Matt Frame. He is a 5'9", 160-pound junior.
Yeah, he was the one that we think
and linebacker
recovered that fumble. He's not listed on the printed roster that we have, or at least he's not listed under number 20, which is who intercepted the pass. It's a middle screen and all kinds of running room and picking up a first down. And another tackle by Julian. Gavin Locke on the catch. First and 10 for Pennsville. They hand it off to Locke this time, trying to sweep it to the right side. He's got some room as he cuts it up. Gets across midfield and down to the Middle Township 45. That's a 7-yard gain.
And right now, Pennsville trying to ride this momentum off of that interception, Brian, and they're actually doing a very good job. As you just said, 2nd and 3.
And another fumble. And I believe Middle Township's got this one.
But we got flags. There are flags on the field.
And it looks like it was Isaiah Carr wing. And now they finally do point Middle Township's way. It was Isaiah Carr wing, the freshman, who recovered the fumble. Now let's see about the flag. And it looks like the ball will go over the middle. And it looks like they're going to simply pick up the flag. So Middle has it, 1st and 10 at their own 42. You know, there may be some debate on that, buddy. Something we could go back and look at our video later. I'm not sure if the Pennsville runner's knee hadn't hit before he lost it, but either way, obviously in high school there's no video review, and Middle Township will have it. And Jones will run for 1 on first down. 2nd down and 9 for Middle Township. Ball at the 44-yard line. Actually, they mark it. They give him a gain of 2 there. So make it 2nd and 8. Now looking to the sideline for some instructions.
10:45 to play here in the first half. Middle Township on top, 7-0.
Here's a handoff to Jones. Got hit in the backfield and then did well to break that tackle, and he picks up about 4 or 5 on that run. And it's going to bring up 3rd and about 4. 3rd and 4 from Middle Township's own 48-yard line. They lead 7-0. Clock approaching 10 minutes to play before halftime.
And again, Middle Township is going to need to get at least, again, the first down is on the 48.
They hand it off to Jones. Looked like he had some room. Oh, and then with second effort, he's going to come real close to this first down. Still might be short. Looked like he was going to be about 2 yards short.
I think he
and then he had a little lunge at the end, and they may bring the chains in here. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They'll bring the chains in to measure here. It'll either be 4th and very short or a first down. Or are they going to measure? I don't know. Looks like Middle Township. No, they are measuring. I wasn't sure if someone called a timeout, but it is for a measurement. And it gives us a chance to tell you that high school football on the coast, proudly brought to you by Crest Savings Bank. Banking since 1919 with branches to serve you throughout Cape May County. Visit CrestSavings.com.
And it is going to bring up a 4th and inches, Brian. 4th and inches, just over the 50-yard line.
Oh, give
just shy of the 48.
Give Jones credit, buddy, because without that second effort, Middle's probably punting here.
Absolutely.
And instead, they're going to go for it here on 4th and inches. You know, instead of 4th and 2, it's 4th and inches. And this will probably be a sneak by Nab. That's exactly what it is. He didn't get much, but he didn't need much. and he should have it. And actually, he broke a tackle in the middle of the field and is all the way down inside the 40. A great run there by Brett Knapp. That kind of surprised me as he bolted out of there and picked up about 11.
Yeah, that caught everybody by surprise.
It looked like, buddy, one of the officials was about to blow his whistle. I saw him take his whistle to his mouth there, and then good job holding that whistle as Knapp picks up 11 and a first down.
First and 10 for the Panthers now on the Pennsville 37.
Handoff to Jones. He's going to try to turn the corner, and he can't do so and only picks up about 1.
Yeah, this is going to be dependent upon where the officials spot the football.
Second down and 9. For Middle Township at the Pennsville 37-yard line. 9:10 to go before halftime. Middle leads 7-0. Scored a touchdown on their first possession following a Pennsville turnover. Another handoff inside, and Jones is bottled up. He might have lost a yard.
Yeah, that time. And again, you got to give Pennsville credit also. Haven't talked about their defense, but Brian, their defensive effort has been outstanding as well.
Yeah, they've really been stout against the run these last couple of possessions for Middle, other than that 11-yard run by Knapp. Now it's 3rd and 12 for Middle at the Pennsville 30, call it the 39-yard line. Empty backfield. Knapp's going to take it and run, actually, out of an empty backfield, and he's going to pick up about 3, but that's going to bring up 4th and about 9. And this is kind of an interesting spot here. I mean, I think at the 36, I think going 4th and 9 here, buddy, you might punt. But we'll see what Middle does here.
Well, you're right, and it is an interesting with Middle Township.
It looks like they've made the call. They're going to punt as the punting unit comes on.
And again, what we got going on right here in this first half is a field, it's all about field possession, field and who's been able to do what against who.
Here's a low kick again. It's bouncing. They're going to let it roll, and Middle's going to down it again inside the 5-yard line. Another effective punt there by Brett Knapp, the rugby-style punt. And they pin him down at the 3-yard line again. So Middle has certainly won this battle of field position so far. And they lead at 7-0, 7:26 to go first half. And Middle now looking to get a key defensive stop. Last time Pennsville had it down here, they turned it over. But Middle wasn't able to capitalize as they turned it right back over themselves on an interception. And here is Muntz back in the shotgun. He's going to keep it himself. And maybe gets 1, but probably more like just back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up second down. Took the snap and faked it to McDade and kept it himself. Second down and 10. Muntz takes the snap. It's a quick pass out in the flat. Middle Township is all over this. And after a gain of about 1 or 2, we have a late flag come flying in, though. Let's see who this is on. Pass was complete out in the flat over there.
Oh, that's big. It's going to be a personal foul. It's a face mask, Brian, against Middle. So just when it looked like the Panther defense had Pennsville's offense bottled up inside the 5, that big penalty, as you said, came late.
It would have been 3rd and 8 after that play, but that face mask penalty right at the end of the play there, and Pennsville gets a first down out of it and a lot more breathing room. Here's a toss And running play there. And it's a pickup of about 3. That was Jacob Baker on that run. Back to passes, Muntz throws, it's complete. And getting the first down is Pennsville on extra effort.
Yeah, right. You want both teams, Brian, are really, they're whether it be a wide receiver or a running back, the extra effort that they're putting in, they're making themselves very hard to tackle.
That was Zach Morrison on the catch, and the extra effort got him the first down out at the the Pennsville 32. Inside 6 minutes to go, first half, Middle leads 7-0. David Muntz takes the snap. He's back to pass again. It's another screen to McDade. Oh, and he is blown up out there on the outside. And that goes down as a loss. And I didn't catch who made that tackle, buddy, but
it was number 20 for the Panthers, which we're saying is Matthew Frame.
Back to passes, Muntz throws high and incomplete.
Well, the pressure was there from the Panther defensive line. They didn't blitz anybody, but the defensive line was able to get really good pushback on Pennsville's offensive line and get some hands up, and that forced a quicker than he wanted to throw from David Muntz.
3rd and 12. Muntz back to pass, looking, and it's incomplete. It was thrown way behind the intended receiver. It was a middle screen, and they were looking for Michael Hall. And Middle Township kind of had that smelled out there, buddy. It'll bring up 4th down and 12, and Pennsville's got a punt.
It was almost picked off.
Right.
By Isaiah Carr-Wing. That ball went right through his hands.
Well, I think Isaiah Carr-Wing was coming up expecting a better thrown ball to make a play on the receiver, and at the last minute he threw his hands up in an attempt to intercept the ball. But Middle holds and Pennsville punts. It's a pretty high, pretty good kick. And Middle Township muffs it, and Pennsville recovers at the 44-yard line. And I think that was Carr-Wing again, and he kind of was hesitant, and then at the last minute tried to make a play on the ball, and Middle muffed the punt.
And that's going to give the Eagles a first down, 1st and 10 from the Middle Township 44. Exactly 5 minutes to play here in the first half.
Here is Muntz. Wow, dangerous toss. That ball's fumbled, and Middle Township's got it. That was recovered by David Julian.
And that simply was just a bad toss from the quarterback to the running back. Well, the running back, even if it wasn't a bad toss, the running back should have caught that, or obviously should have been able to catch and tuck that in, but that was McDade.
Well, it was a late toss, and it never really should have been made. Muntz had already picked up a poor snap, and Middle Township was flying around the backfield there. Here's a handoff to Jones, and he picks up about 2. Jeremiah Jones, a freshman.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 2. Middle Township.
2nd down and 8.
Yes, I'm sorry.
You're not doing well when you're down in distance tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be 2nd and 8, and Middle will have the ball on their own 47.
It's another handoff. This time Jones has running room, and he's got a first down and more inside the 45, taken down at the 41. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down.
And again, right up the middle, that Middle Township offensive line creating a hole, and Jones hit it like a freight train.
Another handoff to Jones. And this time he's got about 3. Be 2nd and 7. Inside 4 minutes to go, first half. A very good first half of football. Low scoring here, 7-0 Middle Township leads. And they actually marked that ball a little further down than I thought at the 38. And it's a pickup of about 4. So it's 2nd and a long 6. And Nab is going to throw incomplete. That was a good play by Nab. He was under duress on what was a little bit of a bad snap. Rolled to his left, had all kinds of pressure on him, and just threw it kind of over a couple of players' heads into a kind of a safe area. The ball just fell harmlessly incomplete.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
He threw it to Luke. He threw it towards Salvo. Salvo was covered. It was a smart move just to throw it over Salvo's head and let it fall to the turf incomplete. So it's 3rd down at about 6 or 7. Middle's going to call a timeout here with 3:35 to go. Timeout on the field. Middle leads at 7-0. 3:35 to go, first half. Back after this 30-second break on 98.7 The Coast. High school football on the coast brought to you by the Borough of Avalon, cooler by a mile. For a list of exciting recreation events and sports camps, log on to avalonrecreation.org. Hemingway's at the Grand in Cape May, the locals' favorite restaurant for lunch or dinner. Hemingway's, oceanfront on Beach Avenue in Cape May. You can follow them on Facebook. And, buddy, we have gotten confirmation that number 20 is Matt Frame. So he's made a couple real good plays tonight for Middle, and obviously we wanted to recognize him. He was not listed on the – he was actually listed under a different number on the roster that we have.
Number 51, which after finding him on Max Preps, we found the correct number.
Pass tipped and incomplete. It was a quick hitter to the outside, and it falls incomplete, and Middle will punt here.
4th down, Middle Township with the ball on the 38-yard line of Pennsville.
Yeah, this is really no decision here. You're inside the 40, yes, but it's 4th and 7, and with 3:30 to go, you want to make Pennsville go the length of the field rather than giving them a short field if you don't make it on 4th down. It's another rugby-style kick, bounces, and it was muffed but picked right back up by the return man. Middle Township is all over him. But they do a good job of getting up across the 15. Then we had a late flag come in, and I don't know who this is on.
Late flag on both sides of the field.
So let's see what we have here. This is a post-possession foul. So,
wow.
It's a personal foul against both teams. It offsets now. Was it a dead ball foul? Because if it wasn't a dead ball foul, you have to re-kick this. But it looks like, well, I believe they're going to just give Pennsville the ball here at the 18-yard line.
And I think, Brian, the timing of when the flags were thrown shows it was not a dead ball foul. And Middle's going to have to punt again.
Oh, so they are going to move it back. Oh, and now they have now they have an issue because the chains had already gone down. I hope they know where they had the ball marked.
Yeah. That's not what you would call a very good chain reaction. They have to wait to see what the penalties are.
Well, now they're walking down and they're just going to put it down at the Pennsville 18 again. So let's see. we're ready to go here yet. I think they are going to mark it at the Pennsville 18, so I guess they are going to say that those offsetting fouls occurred after the whistle was blown, so they're dead ball foul, so the play counts. So 1st and 10 for Pennsville at its own 18-yard line.
That's actually where I was going with my initial comment, but then I thought I had to improvise.
Punts back the pass. Looking. Now he's going to run, and he slides down at the 23, gain of about 5.
Under 3 minutes to go, first half.
Pennsville hasn't used the timeout. They have all 3 left.
Middle Township on top, 7-0. Pennsville with the football.
Back is Muntz. Looking, throws it out in the flat. It's caught. And picking up a first down, gain of about 6. That was to Gabe Watson. And Pennsville will have it. 1st and 10.
Watson, a junior wide receiver. He also plays linebacker on defense.
And now we have some discussion here. What do we have?
Well, Brian, we'll take this little bit of the Step Back Foundation is having a auction tonight at the Mud Hen Brewery. The Step Back Foundation is a creation by Maddie McCracken to give back to local student athletes, help with scholarships, and hopefully help steer them in the right direction in getting that college education. So it will be from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Mud Hen Brewing Company on Rio Grande Avenue in Wildwood. A buffet, open bar, and plenty of prizes or plenty of
Middle
things
Township jumps offside here.
to auction for.
Pennsville will now have 1st and 5. It's the second time Middle's gone offside. Don't forget, buddy, Matty is also a 98.7 The Coast sports personality as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And certainly the best athlete to have had our microphones on. Here's a pass complete all the way across midfield.
That was a nice.
Inside the 45-yard line, and that was a nice gain there.
That was a well-thrown ball.
And that was complete to Zach Morrison for a first down.
Yeah, Muntz did a good job that time. He really threw that ball.
So 1st and 10 at the 42. Muntz swings it out to McDade, and McDade is ridden out of bounds.
Oh,
And then we're gonna have a late hit here called on Middle Township.
Oh, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, they were driving McDade out of bounds, and then they threw him down to the turf a good 7 or 8 yards out of bounds. And they stopped them for a loss of 2 there on that swing pass.
Yeah, and then, they had him so far out of bounds, Brian. They actually threw him down. He hit the track. He didn't even land on the grass. The track circles the football field. And that was number 8. Isaiah Carr Wing, who made that big hit.
I mean, we have some fans from Middle Township screaming that this was a bad call, but boy, if you've watched football in your life at least a little bit, that's a late hit. I mean, that was.
Yes.
The track is about 10 yards from the end of the playing field, and McDade ended up on the track.
Yes.
1st and 10 inside the 30 now. Muntz will roll to his right. He's looking. He throws. Oh, it's nearly intercepted.
And Muntz, as you said, Brian, rolling to his right.
That was
who else? That was Mr. Gillian again. It was right there in Muntz's face. making him throw that ball a little quicker than he wanted to. And Middle Township came very close to intercepting that pass.
So 2nd down and 10 at the 28, 2:08 to go before halftime. Middle leads 7-0. High snap, they hand it off to McDade, and McDade is taken down. And a good tackle made out there by yet another Middle player whose number's not on this roster. And it's a loss of 2. It was number 27, but if you want to look it up online, maybe they have the different number there. Here is Muntz throwing. Oh, nearly intercepted. Nearly intercepted by Middle, and that was David Julian there. And if he had picked that off, he had a lot of space in front of him. And it'll be 4th and 12. And let's see what Pennsville does here. They are inside the 30, or right at the 30 of Middle. It looks like they're going to go for it. So 4th and 12. Here's Muntz. Back to pass. Looking. Throws the ball to the corner, and it is incomplete.
Well, that looked like a catchable ball.
Yeah, it was thrown in the direction of Zach Morrison, but it falls incomplete, and Middle will take over on downs.
1:26 to play here.
It was down right around the goal line.
It was right there at the pylon, and it was a pretty well thrown ball. That's the type of catch your wide receiver has to make.
So 1st and 10 for Middle. 1:26 to go in the half, and we'll see what Middle can do here. And they may, they get the ball to start the second half. They may just elect to keep this on the ground and try to run out the clock unless they get a big hitter that kind of flips field position. And now Middle is going to call a timeout. They were a little mixed up on their play. A man went in motion, and Coach Frank Rigitano, we could hear him from up here in the press box yelling for a timeout. So timeout on the field. Middle Township leading 7-0, and with 1:26 to go, first half. High school football on the coast brought to you by the Bellevue Tavern. Great food, great times, great crab cakes waiting for you. Enjoy Courthouse Casual, fine food and spirits since 1905. Make sure you say hello to Dennis and Sarge. Tell them Brian and Buddy sent you. That's the Bellevue Tavern on Route 9 in Cape May Courthouse.
And I was Coach Rigitano, because I'm sure they could hear him at the Bellevue calling for that timeout.
That's the truth. That's the truth. 19th hole in memory of late Coach Jimmy McMichael. Jimmy McMichael, of course, coached right here at Middle Township High School for a long time. 19th hole Enterprises and the McMichael family would like to wish everyone the best of luck in today's game. That's McMichael's 19th hole in North Wildwood. So out of the timeout, it's 1st and 10 Middle, 1:26 to go first half. They lead 7-0 over Pennsville. And we're ready to go here. And it's a handoff. And breaking some tackles, turning the corner, and still on his feet all the way up close to midfield.
That's a
great run by Eric Smith.
Unbelievable run by Eric Smith. That was an 18 or 19-yard pickoff. And Brian, how about the stiff arm he leveled on the Pennsville would-be tackler?
That's a 28-yard gain there, and now Middle's in a little bit of a hurry here. A little over a minute to go in the half. Another handoff to Smith. Smith off left tackle, and he picks up about 5.
So he crosses the 50, gets the ball down to, say, the 48-yard line. That's where they're going to mark it. So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 5. We'll call it a 2nd and 6. 48 seconds, clock ticking.
Oh, that's not good. Middle just used its last time out. They were a little confused there. So with 46 seconds to go, they used their final timeout. We'll take a 30-second break as well. Back after this on 98.7 The Coast. All right, out of the timeout, Middle will have it second down. We'll call it 6 at the Pennsville 48, leading 7-0, 46 seconds to go in the first half. A very, very good football game. A little sloppy at times, some turnovers on both sides, but it's been competitive. Both teams making some really good plays defensively. 2nd and 6 for Middle. Low snap, but they do dig it out. They hand it off to Smith. Smith gets about 1.
And a good job that time by the Pennsville defense, Brian. They made some nice moves in, to keep him in the middle of the pack, the middle of the line, and it was a no gain.
Back to pass here is Nab. He's going to load up and throw it deep. It is tipped and incomplete. Good coverage down there by Muntz. And the intended receiver was freshman Michael Zarfati.
Man, Zarfati's been a little quiet tonight, Brian. He's been one of their go-to receivers. One of those kids that he's a freshman, but he's made an impact this year. Michael Zarfati really showing that, he's got a heck of a future here at Middle Township in football.
So at 4th down and 5 with 18 seconds left, Middle's going to punt. And Nab will punt it away. It's caught and taken down immediately at the 23-yard line with 9 seconds to go. And it is Pennsville having it at their own 24-yard line with 9 seconds to play.
Wow, it was just a one heck of a statement coming out of the stands from the Middle side. Middle Township has done a very good job.
There's a reason why people sit in the stands and aren't on the sidelines.
Do something other than punt the football.
Well, I don't know what you want them to do there on 4th and 5 with 18 seconds left near midfield.
Exactly.
All right, so here's a handoff to McDade, and he does get the first down. That'll stop the clock with 2 seconds to go, and Pennsville does take a timeout, so it's a pickup of about 11.
So 65 yards to go with 2 seconds left for Pennsville to get in the end zone.
And during this timeout, gives us a chance to tell you about Cooper Levinson, attorneys at law. They are proud supporters of the community and proud supporters of high school football on the coast. Cooper Levinson believes in client service, corporate responsibility, and dedication to the community. CooperLevinson.com. So it is.
Well, I think, Brian, Coach Rigitano's got to be pretty happy with his squad to go into this locker room at halftime up 7-0, and as you had said,
you have to defend one more play, but 2 seconds left. Pennsville's got to go 65 yards. So
Middle will receive that kickoff
yes.
to start the second half.
Yes. So 35-yard line for Pennsville, 1st and 10. Middle Township. Major prevent defense. They have their D-backs and safety way back off the line of scrimmage. They hand it off inside and getting a yard or 2, and that'll be it, was McDade, and that'll do it for the half. So a real entertaining first half here, and Middle Township capitalized on that early turnover. It was a fumble by Pennsville inside their own 25-yard line, Middle's first possession, and it resulted in a Jeremiah Jones 17-yard touchdown run, and Jerome Licata's kick made it 7-0, and that score has held up for the remainder of the half. We'll take a 4-minute timeout, and we'll come back with the halftime report right after this on 98.7 The Coast.
For a lunch, dinner, or a party to celebrate a special occasion at the Bellevue Tavern, Cape May Courthouse. The Bellevue Tavern offers happy hour daily, a great way to unwind with your friends after work. Monday night, it's 2-for-1 apps in the bar at the Bellevue, and Thursday night is Yings and Wings with half-price bingo's. For your next office party, reception, birthday, or any celebration at all, keep upstairs at the Bellevue. The Bellevue Tavern has early bird dinner Monday through Thursday, just $14.95 before 6 p.m. The Bellevue Tavern, Route 9, Cape May Courthouse.
Cooper Levinson, Attorneys at Law, is a proud supporter of the community. The law office was formed in 1957 with just 2 attorneys and now has 75 attorneys with offices in New Jersey, Delaware, and Las Vegas. Cooper Levinson believes in client service, corporate responsibility, and dedication to the community. They don't just serve local school districts as attorneys, but also as involved residents, parents, and community volunteers. See our community service in action on Facebook or Twitter. Just search #Cooper Levinson. It's the locals' favorite restaurant in Cape May. Hemingway's in the Grand Hotel. Hemingway's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Hemingway's restaurant features fresh seafood right to your table. Or taste the difference with award-winning hand-cut USDA prime steak. Don't miss prime rib night every Wednesday. Happy Hour at Hemingway's offers a special bar menu and drink specials Monday through Saturday from 4 till 6 and all day on Sundays. Hemingway's Restaurant for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Oceanfront on Beach Avenue in Cape May. Follow them on Facebook.
At Crest Savings Bank, we believe your time is valuable. That's why our mobile banking app lets you bank when and where you want. Crest Savings Bank mobile app lets you review activity, pay bills, transfer funds, and even deposit checks any time of the day or night. Make the most of your free time by using Crest Savings Bank's safe, secure, and easy-to-use mobile app. Visit CrestSavings.bank for details. Crest Savings Bank. Big bank products. Community bank service.
Crest Savings is a member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
At Crest Savings Bank, we believe your time is valuable. That's why our mobile banking app lets you bank when and where you want. Crest Savings Bank mobile app lets you review activity, pay bills, transfer funds, and even deposit checks any time of the day or night. Make the most of your free time by using Crest Savings Bank's safe, secure, and easy-to-use mobile app. Visit CrestSavings.bank for details. Crest Savings Bank. Big bank products. Community bank service.
Crest Savings is a member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
This year, more than ever, let's celebrate the holiday season. The Borough of Avalon invites you to attend our Festive Friday and Snowfest Saturday celebration on Friday and Saturday, November 27th and 28th through downtown Avalon. Enjoy fun, safe, socially distanced family activities, including plenty of live entertainment, free giveaways, and on Friday, Santa will illuminate Avalon's downtown lights and holiday tree at Veterans Plaza. Come to Avalon's Festive Friday and Snowfest Saturday this season and support your local merchants. For more information, visit avalonborough.net.
House racing, footing, rock and roll. That's how we roll at 19 hole. Driveways, sidewalks, pavers and more. That's how we roll at 19 hole. So if you need some work, don't be a jerk. Give us a call at 19 hole. 522-7210. 522-7210. So you can roll with 19 hole.
Cooper Levinson, Attorneys at Law, is a proud supporter of the community. The law office was formed in 1957 with just 2 attorneys and now has 75 attorneys with offices in New Jersey, Delaware, and Las Vegas. Cooper Levinson believes in client service, corporate responsibility, and dedication to the community. They don't just serve local school districts as attorneys, but also as involved residents, parents, and community volunteers. See our community service in action on Facebook or Twitter. Just search #Cooper Levinson.
98.7 The Coast. WCZT. Villas, Ocean City, Cape May. Thanks for listening to High School Football on 98.7 The Coast.
All right, we are back at Memorial Field in the Buddy Tarbotten wing of the press box here at Memorial Field. Brian Kniff alongside Buddy Tarbotten, and Middle Township leads Pennsville 7-0 here at the half. And it was a very good first half of football. And as we said, Middle actually capitalized on a fumble by Pennsville on the second offensive play. And they got the ball at the Pennsville 35-yard line, a few running plays, and then on a third down and 7, third down and 6, Jeremiah Johnson ran in from 17 yards out. Jerry Licata made the extra point. And we've had no scoring since then. And the only other time and Middle didn't capitalize was they had stopped after a real good punt was downed inside the 5-yard line on the second offensive play. Again, Pennsville fumbled. Middle recovered at the 11-yard line, but then threw an interception in the end zone on third down. So they missed an opportunity to add to their lead, but they do lead 7-0 here. And Middle has done an outstanding job of really holding the field position and winning the field position battle in that first half. And the Panthers will get the ball to start the second half, buddy.
Well, and that's what it's been, Brian. The first half, the first 24 minutes, it's been a defensive battle, and field position has been what both Pennsville and Middle Township, they've done a very good job of, let's say, keeping each other from, say, the 35 to the 35-yard line, not really allowing, movement into the red zone, so to speak. Pennsville has come up with some really nice defensive plays, made some nice adjustments as well. Middle Township, to their credit, I mean, they've been able to come up with some key turnovers to stop Pennsville when it looked like they might have been getting a little momentum, offensively. So when you're able to do that, obviously you're going to be successful. So the key to this second half is going to be the team, I believe, that does not turn the football over, and obviously the other team that's able to take advantage of these field position battles.
Well, the other thing, if you're Middle Township, you can't be happy that Pennsville has fumbled the ball away 3 times, and Middle has also blocked a punt, and you only have 7 points in the game. So that has to be alarming. And if you're Pennsville, they've been able to move the ball in spurts, but they haven't been able to sustain anything. In addition to the turnovers, they've also had a couple of instances where they've had poor snaps out of the shotgun that have taken them into some negative yardage situations. So those are things that Pennsville will have to clean up. I think if you're Middle, you really have to rue the missed opportunity there after the fumble that you got down at the 11-yard line. And, you came away with no points. And, again, they throw an interception on third down and 9 from the 10-yard line. And if that pass is simply incomplete, Middle's probably in a position where they're going to try a 27-yard field goal, and if they make that, they're up 2 scores. But the interception prevents that, and it's 7-0.
And most definitely, that is where they were. That cost them 3 points. Forget about the 6 points. But the fact is, like you just said, if that ball falls harmlessly to the turf as an incompletion, I believe Coach Rigitano sends out Licata, and he's got that leg strength to knock that down from 27.
All right, so it's Middle Township 7 and Pennsville nothing here at the half. Couple of scores involving some teams from the traditional Cape Atlantic League area. Ocean City was leading St. Joe 10-7 late second quarter at last report, and Holy Spirit was up 21-0 on Winslow Township. So those are some other scores from around South Jersey. Also, in a 7 o'clock start, Millville is up 7-0 very early on a 67-yard touchdown pass a minute into the game, 7-0 over Delsey. So those are some games involving some traditional Cape Atlantic League teams across the West Jersey Football League. And Middle Township is scheduled to play Gateway next Friday. Lower Cape May, by the way, goes to Holy Cross tomorrow for a 4 o'clock start. And then Lower Cape May will host Overbrook next Thursday night at 6. So if you're a football fan next week, and hopefully we're still playing football next week, we've seen a lot of programs shut down because of this pandemic. But right now, Lower Cape May, if you're a fan in the area, you can catch a couple games on back-to-back nights next week, as Lower Cape May will host Overbrook and then play and then Middle Township will host. Let me go back. Lower Cape May will host Overbrook on Thursday, and Middle Township will host Gateway on Friday. Both are 6 o'clock starts. And that Lower Cape May game was actually originally scheduled to play at Overbrook on Saturday. Overbrook does not have lights. And with Middle Township having the traditional Anchor Bowl game scheduled for the evening before Thanksgiving on a Wednesday night, they basically informed Overbrook, if you don't move the game to Thursday or at the worst Friday and come down here, we're not going to play the game, because Lower felt it was too quick of a turnaround to play on Saturday and then have a game the following Wednesday. So Overbrook, to their credit, agreed, and as of right now, that game is on for next Thursday at Lower Cape May. So it's 7-0 Middle Township on top here at the half. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout. We'll come back with the start of the second half right after this on 98.7 The Coast.
Attorneys at Law is a proud supporter of the community. The law office was formed in 1957 with just...
Hey, Brian, are you there?
Yo, what's up, Noah? No, Brian says that now.
believes in.
He's back now.
Right.
Yeah, what's up? Good.
I would verify it first, but take my word for it, but this is what I heard officially, because I work up in the finance.
Yeah. Yeah, it's shut down because Vineland's done for the season. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that either. I got told Vineland was shut down, but I'm not sure if it's for the season or if it was 2 weeks. Yeah, that's going on. It's going all over the state. There were 50 games canceled this weekend. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Crazy. I mean, I'd rather go on what I know. We don't know the perfect, you know what I mean? We don't know specifically what's going on, so, yeah, but I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Right. Right, you got to have it done. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
All right, we are back at Memorial Field in Cape May Courthouse. Brian Kniff with Buddy Tarbon, and it is Middle Township leading Pennsville 7-0 at the half. And
I don't know, Brian, it looks like they're having some issues with the clock on the scoreboard. It is stopped multiple times now. Oh, there we go.
yeah, it looks like they're going to reset it maybe. Middle has the lead 7-0. They'll get the ball to start the second half. And, one of the things that has come up, Buddy, is that, with this COVID-19 pandemic and with cases surging, there were, at last report, as of early this afternoon, there were more than 50 games scheduled for this weekend that were canceled or changed There were some people that did scramble and find other opponents, but there were 50 games affected, more than 50 games affected across the state due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And, I think everybody's at the point where they're just hoping that we can finish the season. One thing to mention this afternoon, from a Middle Township standpoint, we want to send our congratulations out to an outstanding three-sport athlete, Kate Herlihy of the field hockey team, scored 4 goals in her team's state playoff win today over Riverside, and the 4th goal was the 100th of her career, and she joins her older sister Jenna as the only 100-goal scorers in the history of Middle field hockey. We're set to go for the second half, and they're having a problem with the clock, and I'm wondering if they're going to keep the time on the field. Because the clock actually says 2 minutes and 58.9 seconds. So,
it almost was Frank Savino over there.
So now they have it set for 12. So we'll see if it's working, and when they blow this whistle and start play. But Pennsville has it teed up, and it's Morrison. It's a high, short kick. Taken by an up man, and Middle gets it out to the 40, and that was Isaiah Carr Wing on that return. So Middle will have good field position at their own 40.
I mean, that was a pretty gutsy play right there, Brian, by Wing, because he muffed that punt at the end of the first half.
Yeah, luckily for him and the team, it didn't end up hurting them.
Right.
So,
and he came up and took that. He took that ball, that kickoff, just there on the run,
and did the right thing. Just ran straight up the field without a lot of blockers ahead of him. Running with the football out of the Wildcat here is Eric Smith, and he's taken down for a 4-yard loss.
Yeah,
that play just didn't have a chance from the start because it was a low snap that Smith had trouble with, and it kind of slowed his, the start of the play from his end, and it ends up as a loss of 4.
And he tried to go left and run around the left side of the Middle Township offensive line, but Pennsville did a great job again in pursuit and got him for that 4-yard loss.
Keeping the football here is the quarterback, Nab, and he's going to lose a yard. So this has not started well here the second half for Middle, and they're going to be it's going to be 3rd down and close to 15 here for a first down.
Coach Mike Healy, his squad, Brian, they've come out of after halftime. This defensive unit is pretty fired up.
Yeah, call it 3rd and 14 at the 36-yard line. Middle needs to get to midfield for a first down. And you would imagine they'd put it in the air here on 3rd down and long from their own 36-yard line. And actually, they're going to keep it. And right up the middle, and getting a first down is Brett Nab. What a great decision. I don't know if Nab made that decision on his own or if that was a design play, but Nab ends up running for 16 yards and a first down.
He goes right off of the left guard for the Panthers, and as Brian said, wow, did he have a hole, and he takes it across the 50 to the Pennsville 49, where it's 1st and 10, Middle Township.
So it's a 16-yard gain, and Middle inside Pennsville territory here. Hand off to Smith, turning the corner, sticks his head down, and picks up about 3.
And again, that was another snap, Brian, that Nab had to field like he was fielding a ground ball.
Right.
But he was able to keep his wits about him and get that ball to Smith.
2nd down and 7. Ball at the Pennsville 46. Middle leading 7-0 early stages 3rd quarter.
Or Jones, as you would call it. So Middle Township trying to get some momentum going here offensively.
And man in motion here for Middle Township. Another low snap. They hand it to Smith, and he maybe got a yard. Not much more. Bring up 3rd down, and actually, Yeah, they maybe give him a yard, so it's 3rd down and 6.
From the 46 of Pennsville.
It's a long 6.
Yes, it is.
Ball just outside the 46. They need to get to the 39 for a first down. They hand it off again to Smith. Smith breaks a tackle in the backfield. Still on his feet, rumbling forward. He's going to have a first down. Great run by Eric Smith. Picks up about 7 and a first down.
That again, Brian, as you call it, Eric Smith, that time, he goes off the right side, off the right tackle, and he had a host of Pennsville defenders wrapped up, on top of him, and he just kept pumping his legs, and he picks up that first down.
To the 38-yard line of Pennsville, 8:39 to go, 3rd quarter. And clock really should be running here after the first down, and it's not. I don't know if they're, again, having a problem with the clock. Now it starts. They're going to throw. Down the field, tipped and incomplete. Good play down there by David Muntz, who also plays D-back and safety, as well as being the starting quarterback now for Pennsville. So 2nd down and 10. I believe it was Carr Wing was the intended receiver, buddy? No, not Carr Wing. It was actually Sarfati who was the intended receiver. So
Carr Wing was on the left side of the field, Brian, and he was jumping up and down like he was wide open. But Nab, didn't have the opportunity to try and throw across the field, and he went to Sarfati.
Now they have to remark the football. The ball was marked at the wrong place. They marked it up at the 37, had to go back to the 38. So 2nd and 10 for Middle Township here, inside the 40-yard line of Pennsville. They fake the handoff. Nab keeps, and he is wrestled down after a loss of about 3. That's going to bring up 3rd and 13.
And again, that was just another really good play by the Pennsville defense. They read that one all the way and shut it down.
So 3rd and 13 for Middle. Ball at the 40. Inside 8 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Panthers up 7-0. Pass out in the flat here. It's incomplete.
That was almost picked off.
Yeah, and again, the timing of that was set off by another low snap. And Middle Township will have to punt.
And you can see Brett Nab is not very happy, with that snap in particular, but he's been getting those types of snaps most of the night.
So on 4th and 12 from the Pennsville 40, Middle will punt. Nab running around again, another rugby-style kick. It bounces, will go all the way down inside, right at the 5-yard line again. Another effective punt, and Pennsville, again, this is the 3rd time that they will be inside their 10-yard line to start a possession after a good punt by Middle. And they're going to mark this ball, I believe, at the 4. It's actually the 3rd time inside the 5 that Pennsville has started. One time they fumbled, Middle didn't capitalize. The other time, Middle ended up committing a face mask penalty that gave Pennsville some breathing room, and they got out of the shadow of their own goalposts. 1st and 10 for Pennsville, their own 4. Muntz under center. Hands it off to McDade, trying the left side. He's got a lot of room, and he's finally tripped up outside or right around the 25-yard line. They're actually going to mark it up by the 30.
Yeah, that was a heck of a run by McDade.
So it's a 26-yard gain on 1st down. Oh, now we have a Middle player goes down injured. And that's Eric Smith, who's had a good second half running the ball so far for Middle. So timeout on the field, injury timeout. We'll take a 30-second break, come back right after this on 98.7 The Coast.
Attorneys at Law is a proud supporter of the community. The law office was formed in 1957 with just 2 attorneys and now has 75 attorneys with offices in New Jersey, Delaware, and Las Vegas. Cooper Levinson believes in client service, corporate responsibility, and dedication to the community. They don't just serve local school districts as attorneys, but also as involved residents, parents, and community volunteers. See our community service in action on Facebook or Twitter. Just search #Cooper Levinson.
High school football on 98.7 The Coast.
So Smith runs off under his own power. And not exactly sure what the issue was, but he looks like he's okay. So Pennsville will have it 1st and 10 at their own 30. Middle leading 7-0, 7:32 to go third quarter. Handoff to McDade, picks his way through, and he turned nothing into about a 7-yard gain there. So it looked like Middle was all over him in the backfield. He made a nice little cut and picked up 7, and now it's 2nd and 3.
Well, it was a nice cutback move, and it looks like Pennsville's going to
another handoff, and this time David Julian takes McDade down in the backfield. It's a loss of about 3.
What a great tackle, and very good penetration by Julian as he gets in there and then makes a great shoestring tackle and knocks McDade down for a 3-yard loss.
Brings up 3rd and 5. Back to pass. Throwing it down the far sideline, incomplete. And that ball had a chance to be caught. But Zach Morrison couldn't come up with it down the far sideline. And let's see what Pennsville does here. They really should punt. And it looks like that's what they're going to do on 4th and 5 at their own 35.
And down there on that coverage was Brett Knabb and Matt Barkus, Brian, and they did it. They did a good job. It was a well thrown ball.
Yes, it was.
The only person that was going to catch it was that wide receiver.
Yeah, Pennsville's left a couple of plays in the passing game out there tonight. 4th and 5, they're back to punt. And it's a high kick angled toward the sideline. This will go out of bounds. It's going to get marked, I believe, up and around the 40. And that's exactly where they're going to mark it. Middle Township will have it there, 1st and 10.
6:35 to play here in the third quarter. Middle Township on top of Pennsville, 7-0.
And high school football on the coast proudly brought to you by Crest Savings Bank, banking since 1919 with branches to serve you throughout Cape May County. Visit crestsavings.com. 1st and 10 for Middle at their own 40. They lead 7-0. The only points of the game were scored on Middle's first offensive possession following a Pennsville turnover. Knabb, hands off, and it looks like a gain of about 2.
Yeah, again, there was nothing there.
They actually handed that to Matt Gariano, who's wearing number 79 this evening because he's been playing at the guard position. So obviously when he goes in, he's got to report as an eligible receiver to play in the backfield as number 79.
Coming up on the 6-minute mark.
Direct snap goes to Knabb, and he runs it himself, picks up maybe a 1.5 yards.
And again, a good adjustment that time by Pennsville. That time he is brought down by number 28 for the Eagles.
And we have a Middle player injured on the far side. And I think that's Knabb, the quarterback.
Sean McDade, the tackler on that play.
So we have an injury timeout on the field. We're going to take a 30-second break. Back after this on 98.7 The Coast.
For a lunch, dinner, or a party to celebrate a special occasion is the Bellevue Tavern, Cape May Courthouse. The Bellevue Tavern offers happy hour daily, a great way to unwind with your friends after work. Monday night, it's 2-for-1 apps in the bar at the Bellevue, and Thursday night is Yings and Wings with half-pricing links. For your next office party, reception, birthday, or any celebration at all, choose upstairs at the Bellevue. The Bellevue Tavern, early bird dinner, Monday through Thursday, just $14.95.
All right, so Brett Knapp was the injured player. He is coming off the field under his own power, so he looks okay. High school football on the coast brought to you by Hemingway's at the Grand in Cape May, the locals' favorite restaurant for lunch or dinner. Hemingway's Oceanfront on Beach Avenue in Cape May. You can follow them on Facebook. The Borough of Avalon, cooler by a mile. For a list of exciting recreation events and sports camps, log on to avalonrecreation.org. So 3rd down and 7 here, and Middle is going to have to go to a different quarterback here. And let's see what they do here. And it looks like you're not going to see this very often, buddy. Gariano, wearing number 79, is lined up in the quarterback position in an empty backfield. And it looks like we have illegal procedure on Middle.
Yeah, and it's a good thing, too, Brian, that there was a procedure flag against the Panthers because, again, it was another poorly snapped football that literally bounced to Gariano. He did a good job to field the ball, but he was not going to be going anywhere, with it.
So Gariano at the quarterback position here. It's 3rd down and 12. Takes the snap. He's going to run it himself. Sticks his head down, picks up maybe 3. And it's going to bring up 4th down and 9.
Yeah, Middle Township's going to have to punt. There was nothing there. Again, Pennsville doing a good job in the interior of that defensive line. And they met Gariano literally head on. So it will be a 4th and 9, 5:05 to play, 3rd quarter. It's the Panthers 7, the Eagles 0.
We haven't seen much of Jeremiah Jones in this second half. It looks like he might be dealing with some kind of an injury because the training staff has been looking at him. Here's a punt, and it's short, but it takes kind of a middle bounce, goes to the side, goes out of bounds at about the 44. Pennsville will take over there. That was Nab that came on for the punt, so he is back in the game, but he's limping a little bit. He's going to stay on for defense here. So Pennsville has it 1st and 10 at their own 44 with 4:47 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Middle leading 7-0.
Oh, it's going to be a big defensive series here for the Panther defense. Let's see what Pennsville
Once
comes
hands
out.
off to McDade. He's got a lot of room through the middle. And Sean McDade is down inside the 40.
And that was Brett Knapp on the tackle,
To the
Brian.
37.
If Knapp doesn't make that shoestring tackle, McDade is gone. That would have been 6 points.
They fake the handoff. Muntz fires out in the flat too high for his intended receiver and incomplete.
2nd down and 10. 4:30 to play, 3rd quarter. And the Panthers, after giving up that big first play run by Sean McDade, really need to buckle down now.
And man coming in motion is Morrison. They hand it to McDade going off the right side. He breaks a tackle, and that is taken down after a gain of about 5.
Yeah, he was going to get taken down, Brian, for maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain. And literally we saw him, he put his hand down on the field and pushed himself back up and was able to pick up another 4 yards.
So the right tackle for Pennsville moved, and it's going to be an illegal procedure penalty. And, I think Muntz, buddy, is actually getting away with a little, I don't know what you would call it, simulation. You can do some things with your hands, when you're in the shotgun about, with a faking a snap or a long count. But he almost looks like he's bobbing his shoulders a little bit, and he's getting away with it. But on that one, the right tackle moved, so it is a 5-yard penalty, and now it's 3rd and 9.
Big play right here.
It's a toss to McDade, fumbles the football, and Middle Township has it. It's recovered by David Julian, and Middle will have it at their own 38-yard line.
And again, the Panthers just doing a good job. That time they go right at McDade as he was trying to figure out which way he was going to go, either to the inside or the outside around that left end. And there was a Panther stuck his helmet right on that football.
And you're at the point now. I mean, Middle's got to go 62 yards, of course, here, but this is the 4th fumble by Pennsville. And Middle has to take advantage at some point here and extend this lead to 2 scores with 3:48 to go in the 3rd quarter.
No, I absolutely agree with you. Pennsville keeps putting the ball on the turf, and now the Panthers have got to pound it into the end zone.
Nab keeps on a direct snap, and he fumbled the football, but I think Middle might have gotten back on it.
Or also number 52 for Pennsville, big defensive lineman.
Matt Barkas recovered it, buddy.
I mean, the Pennsville player, he was having his way there with Nab.
Give Barkas credit, buddy, because there were all kinds of white jerseys around that football, and Barkas was the first to pounce. So it's 2nd and 8 for Middle. Taking the snap again. Oh, nearly fumbling it again is Nab. And he is crunched for a loss of about 5. And I think one of the problems right now, buddy, is that Middle just doesn't have healthy running backs. Jones is out of the game, being tended to by the trainer. Smith is still out of the game as well. And right now, every running play is basically a direct snap to the quarterback.
Well, and as you had said earlier, when you bring one of your linemen off of the line and put him in the backfield,
yeah, you know you're desperate,
especially as a backup quarterback.
3rd down and 12 for Middle Township. Nab will keep it. He's going to run. He picks up maybe 1.
And he's going to bring up 4th down and an obvious punting situation for Middle Township.
I think with all these injuries, buddy, Middle has basically made the decision, for more or less, that they're going to try to win this game with their defense. They're up 7-0 here, 4th and 11. Nab back to punt. Gets it away. It's a line drive. Bounces. It is fielded immediately. Pretty good return. Yep. McDade comes up across midfield, but there were flags thrown immediately. And this is in the area of a hold or a block in the back. And this will take it back. McDade had returned it to the Middle Township 48. But we're going to have penalty called against Pennsville. I didn't catch what the signal was, buddy.
It was whatever this is.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but they're going to mark it back.
Where's Billy Martin when we need him?
He's in the next room.
Yeah.
They marked it back 10 yards, so it's a 10-yard penalty. And Pennsville will have it at their own 30. So that's a break for Middle there. Otherwise, that return went all the way out to the Middle 48.
Yeah, that was as you said, and minute 41 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The time is ticking away, but not fast enough for Coach Frank Rigitano of Middle Township.
Well, they switched footballs here. So 1st and 10 for Pennsville. They hand it to McDade, and he picks up about 6.
Yeah, he just comes through that left side of that offensive line, puts his head down, and just keeps them legs moving. And, Brian, as you said, it's a 6-yard pickup. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 4.
High snap. And Muntz is able to dive on it, but this is going to be a loss of about 10 yards, maybe more. And see where they mark it. I think they're going to mark it right on the 25-yard line, and it is a loss of about 12. So this will bring up third down and about 16. Muntz back to pass, looking, throwing. This ball's in the air a long time. It's nearly intercepted. But it falls incomplete. Barkas had the best shot at it. Matt Barkas didn't come up with the interception on an over-the-shoulder attempt for the catch. But it's still going to bring up fourth down and 17, and Pennsville will have to punt.
Yeah, Barkas, that ball basically went right through his hands. But nonetheless, the play was defended. So the incomplete pass, as Brian just said, brings up that 4th and 16, and Pennsville will have to punt.
46 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And Middle with two deep men back. It's Carr, Wing, and Nab. And it's a high punt. It's going to bounce. Oh, Middle's going to let it go all the way down inside the 30. This ends up being a really, really good punt. That's about a 46-yard punt with no return. And it's going to put Middle back at their own 29-yard line.
36 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The Panthers, as Brian said, will take over the football on their own 29. They lead 7-0. And Middle Township obviously would like to pick up some first downs, keep this football, and get some momentum going.
Again, they're really depleted at the running back position here. Now Gariano is lined up in the backfield. He started the game as a lineman. It's a toss, and running with the football to a receiver who came in motion and getting a first down and more all the way up near midfield. That was Zamar Wakefield, a freshman.
Another freshman for Coach Frank Rigitano's squad. And that was a well-designed play. And again, Nab did a good job fielding that ball off the ground.
That's an 18-yard gain and a first down, and it certainly turns the field position a little bit as it goes all the way out to the 47. And I think Middle's going to let the clock run down on the third quarter. They'll have first and 10 at their own 47 when we come back with the start of the fourth quarter. Right after this, with Middle leading Pennsville 7-0. High school football on CoastSportsToday.com and 98.7 The Coast.
Let's celebrate the holiday season. The Borough of Avalon invites you to attend our Festive Friday and Snowfest Saturday celebration on Friday and Saturday, November 27th and 28th through downtown Avalon. Enjoy fun, safe, socially distanced family activities, including plenty of live entertainment, free giveaways, and on Friday, Santa will illuminate Avalon's downtown lights and holiday tree at Veterans Plaza. Come to Avalon's Festive Friday and Snowfest Saturday this season and support your local merchants. For more information, visit avalonborough.net.
High school football, streaming live on CoastSportsToday.com.
High school football on the Coast brought to you by the Bellevue Tavern. Great food, great times, and great crab cakes are waiting for you. Enjoy Courthouse Casual. Fine food and spirits since 1905. Make sure you go up there and say hello to Dennis and Sarge and tell them that Buddy sent you.
Absolutely. That'd be good for something. And I just poked my head in next door where Billy Martin is, the official
timekeeper.
Yes. Right. He said that was an illegal block signal.
Okay. Didn't catch it from here. It looked a little funky, but either way,
and that's what they all said over there.
It's okay. So we know our eyes are going. Remember, like 10 years ago, we didn't need binoculars.
Yeah.
Now we're both using them. First and 10 for Middle to start the fourth quarter. They lead 7-0. Ball at the Panther 47-yard line. And it's another toss to Wakefield. Pennsville this time is all over it.
Wow, it's a big loss too.
Yeah, it's a big-time loss there, and it's a loss of about 6.
Yeah, that's going to bring up a second down and 16. for the Panthers, taking that ball all the way back to their own 42-yard line.
Nab with Gariano in the backfield with him. Takes the snap. He's back to pass. Now he's going to roll to his right. He's looking. Oh, and he steps out of bounds, and that's not a good decision there. He had a player, down that same sideline around the 35-yard line. He needed to throw the ball down the sideline and out of bounds, but this is going to cost them a lot of real estate here. It's a loss on the play of about 7. And, you're at the point here where you were probably going to punt. You needed to save that yardage. But now it's 3rd down and, about 23 for a first down with the clock stopped, which starting to become a factor here with Middle leading 7-0, 11:20 to go. You could have at the very least taken 30 seconds off the clock if you stayed in bounds. And they hand it off inside. This is a good run by Gariano. Or check that. And it's going to be
fourth
down and very long.
Yes, 4th down and about 20 yards.
Kick, bounces. And Pennsville lets it go, and this is going to roll all the way down to the 20-yard line. This ends up being a really good punt of 41 yards with no return. And Middle has really gotten a lot out of its punting game tonight.
Well, again, that's, Nab with that style that he's using, that, you call the rugby-style punt.
Right.
Where he catches it, and then he'll run to his right and then get rid of the football. And his line drive kicks, except for one that we saw right in front of us that bounced out of bounds. But the majority of his punts have been huge, huge plays for the Panthers.
1st and 10 for Pennsville, trailing 7-0 to Middle Township at their own 20. Muntz, high snap. He went up and got it. Got it to McDade, who picks up about 5.
Yeah, McDade, I'll tell you what, he's one of those punishing runners, Brian. He gets that football. When he decides he's going up the middle, he puts his head down and he makes players pay that want to try and come in and tackle him.
Another handoff to McDade. And he's going to be a little short of the first down, I think.
Yeah,
Depends on where they mark him. No, they gave it to him. So he did get to the 30, so it is a first down. So 1st and 10 for Pennsville, 10:14 to go in the 4th quarter. Fake a handoff. They toss it out on the outside. And taken down after a gain of about 3 is Jacob Baker.
So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 for Pennsville. Under 10 minutes to play here in this football game.
Rolling to his right is Muntz. Looking. Man's wide open. Hit the tight end. Out across the 45. And that was the tight end, Baker, dragging back. And it's a pickup.
Yeah, Jacob
about
Baker,
15.
Junior tight end. He's a big boy. Here goes McNabb.
That's McDade up to midfield.
McDade.
And he was hit again around the line of scrimmage, but then ended up with about a 3-yard gain.
At least he would, that slowed him down a little, so Middle could then get some other defensive players over.
Another handoff to McDade, and this time he's bottled up. This will be no gain. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 7.
Middle Township again, that defensive unit in pursuit, coming up with a key stop. 3rd and 7, as Brian just said. The ball's on the 50.
Back to pass as Muntz throws. It's caught, but short of the first down, I believe, as the pass is completed to Morrison.
These spots are pretty generous.
So it's going to bring up 4th and 1 Muntz keeps it, and he's got the first down easily. Picks up about 3.
And that was a rather easy call for Coach Mike Healy of Pennsville. You know, his team has been running the football very well straight up the middle.
Oh, another high snap. It's going to go across midfield all the way back to the 44, and this has really killed a lot of Pennsville drives. This, buddy, is going to be a loss of about 17 on the high snap.
Yeah, they're going to mark the football back on the
44-yard line.
It should have been on the 43. Somehow it ends up on the 44. Nonetheless, it's going to be second down.
Now we have a flag. And saying illegal procedure.
Well, Middle Township, it's going to be a loss.
I didn't see someone move, but the referee, Middle was on it right away. They started yelling something, and the referee pulled his flag out. They must have noticed someone along that offensive line move.
It's going to be second down and 32.
Do you have a play for that? Middle screen to McDade, but he drops the football. It's incomplete.
Well, that's going to bring up a third down and 32.
Throw was a little low.
But you know what? There was a lot of pressure in his the quarterback's face.
Yes,
Middle Township.
And this is one of those plays here, buddy, on 3rd and 30 something. You just don't want to get too greedy here. Keep them in front of you. You don't want to try to overcommit to make a big play, and then they spring something big on you.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time on that clock. 7:49 to play.
Back to passes, Muntz. He fakes. He's going to throw it deep down the far side. It's intercepted. It is intercepted down there by Brett Knapp at the 35-yard line.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that was a good defensive play by both Panther defenders, as they definitely had that sized up, and that was, one or the other was going to pick it off. But Brett Knapp, is there anything Brett Knapp has not done tonight?
Not tonight, that's for sure. 1st and 10 from Middle at their own 35, 7:41 to go in the football game, and Middle has not been able to move the ball much here in the second half. Other than one big run by Zamar Wakefield, they are very short-handed. Looks like Eric Smith is back in the game, though, buddy. And they hand it off to him. And he ends up getting 2 when he really had nothing at all there.
Yeah, that was a Pennsville did a good job stuffing that play. Smith just kept his legs pumping, and as you said, picked up 2 yards. It's going to bring up second down and 8.
Second and 8 for Middle at their own 37. Handoff again to Smith. Smith breaking tackles. Wow. And then gets a push. Looks like a Middle offensive lineman dove in there. And actually, it wasn't an offensive lineman. It was a receiver in Zarfati that dove into the pile and pushed Smith forward for a few extra yards. And it's going to now bring up just 3rd and 1. They snap it, and directly Knapp takes it and picks up 2 and a first down. I'll be honest with you, buddy. I think Middle might have gotten away with illegal procedure there. It looked like a couple players were edging forward early before that ball was snapped.
I think one of them was more than edging, but nonetheless, there was no flag on the play.
No, Middle should be taking its time now with the clock moving. They lead 7-0. Clock approaching 6 minutes to play in the game. And that's exactly what they're doing. Offensive coordinator Matt Wolf telling his team to slow down. Then he signals the play in as they're up at the line of scrimmage. It's a handoff to Smith, and trying to break tackles. He can't. And he's taken down for a loss. Let's see where they mark this.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pennsville players greeted him as soon as he got the football.
And they're going to mark this as a loss of
5.
about 5, yes.
It's going to put the ball back on the 42, maybe the 43 of Middle Township, bringing up a second down and 15.
They fake the handoff to Smith. Nab keeps it, and he's thrown down for another loss of about 3.
And I'll tell you what, that was a big play and a good, very good play by Sean McDade, Brian. McDade showing that he can play on both sides of the football tonight as well.
So this is going to bring up a third down and about 17 to go for a first down.
We're under 5 minutes to play in this football game tonight.
And Middle taking its time at the line of scrimmage. They don't huddle. They just they go right to the ball and take their signals from offensive coordinator Matt Wolf. Barkas goes in motion toward the far side. They fake a handoff. Nab rolling, throwing.
Oh, it might be past the
yes, it is. Yeah, there was some contact in the back of the intended receiver down there, and that was Barkas. And, you know, buddy, I always get mixed up on high school rules. I'm not necessarily sure this is an automatic first down. So it was 3rd and 17. So that makes it a 15-yard penalty without an automatic first down. It'll bring up 3rd and 2. Now let's see where we mark the football here.
And that's what the officials are tossing the football around. Now they have it.
So they're going to go back and march it off from the 40. And it is a 15-yard penalty. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 2. So it's not an automatic first down, but that's a huge play right there. And now Middle could try to run for this first down on 3rd and 2, and you better bet that Pennsville's going to load the box here. And actually Middle, for one of the rare times offensively, will actually huddle up here, which kind of leads me to believe, buddy, that this is a double count. Yeah, it kind of gives it away a little bit. Now all of a sudden you're going to tell everybody we're going to go on 2. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see. That's exactly what they did. It was a double count. And now they look across and now Middle's going to call a timeout. So a timeout on the field with 4:31 to play in the fourth quarter. It'll be 3rd and 2 for Middle Township. And we'll actually keep it here during this timeout and let you know about some of our great sponsors. 19th Hole, in memory of late coach Jimmy McMichael. 19th Hole Enterprises and the McMichael family would like to wish everyone the best of luck in tonight's game. McMichael's 19th Hole in North Wildwood. Cooper Levinson, attorneys at law, proud supporters of the community and Middle Township High School football. Cooper Levinson believes in client service, corporate responsibility, and dedication to the community. CooperLevinson.com. So a big 3rd and 2 here, buddy, at the 45-yard line of Pennsville with 4:31 to go in the football game.
And what makes it even bigger, Brian, is the fact that, yes, it's 3rd and 2, 4:31 to play. Say Middle Township comes up short.
Big decision.
2 down,
big decision. Yeah, big decision. So 3rd and 2 for Middle.
Are we in 2 down territory?
And Nab will be in the shotgun, as he's been pretty much the whole game. Takes the snap. He's going to throw. It's incomplete. Wow. Middle decided to throw there, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Luke Salvo. The ball was thrown behind him, but a Pennsville player was all over that. It's 4th down, and Middle's lined up as if they're going to go for it. But remember, Nab, the quarterback, is also the punter, so he could punt it out of this formation as well. 4:28 to go. The clock is stopped. And let's see what they do here.
This could be the football game right here.
Nab takes the snap. He's going to run, and he's got no chance.
Wow.
No chance to get that first down. Now, you know, I know you're looking to possibly catch them by surprise, buddy. But I just think if you have it in your mind that you're going to go for it on 4th and 2, you should be running the ball on 3rd and 2. That's just the way I look at it.
Well,
if you're going to go for it on 4th down from that distance, you run the ball on 3rd and 2. You don't throw it. And now Pennsville's got the ball at their own 45-yard line.
And the senior, Thomas Colborn, for Pennsville made that play.
Hand off to McDade, and he's off the left side, and he's got a lot of room. Sticks his head down and has a first down and picks up about 11.
He had a lot of room, and he also had a wide receiver out there in front of him, Brian, who made a couple of good blocks. Michael Hall, number 11. But on that last defensive stop, Colburn made it really, he just clogged up. There was nowhere to go.
Handoff inside, and that's a gain of only about 1.
Now we got flags again.
And that went to Gavin Locke.
Flag comes in late after the play.
I think this is going to go against Middle, this judging by the Pennsville reaction. And it is a personal foul against Middle Township. Now Pennsville is going to have the ball in the deepest area that they've had it in a long time in this football game. They're going to be down inside the 30 now at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10, trailing 7-0 with 3:50 to go in the football game. Pennsville does have all 3 of its timeouts remaining if it comes to that, if we get into that late game situation. But it's 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line of Middle. And it's another handoff to Locke, and he picks up about 3.
Well, again, that time the Middle Township interior of that defensive line did a good job in not allowing any momentum as far as the running back was concerned. And it will bring up a 2nd down and call it a long 7. 3:18 to play in this football game. Middle up 7-0.
Muntz hands. Oh, what a great play. Hands off to McDade, and it was Julian down bottom, and then Luke Salvo really came in and finished him off. And it's a gain. It's actually a loss of 1.
Yeah, Julian and Salvo.
And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 7. Pennsville certainly in 4-down territory here.
Julian and Salvo really stepped up.
Hand off to McDade. He's taken down again. And
again,
that was a great play out there by Brandon Rosensteel.
And Luke Salvo was right there as well to assist on that.
All right, here might be the game. 4th down and 8 with 2:21 to go. Muntz takes the snap. He's back. He's looking. Throws over the middle. It's caught. And down to the 5-yard line is the tight end, Jacob Baker.
Well, they made that look easy. You know, Brian, for a team that's had problems moving the football all night, that was a well-designed play.
Handed off inside, still pushing the pile. And short of the goal line, though. And that was McDade on the run.
Yeah, McDade, he was going to take the whole Panther defense with him until they finally tripped him up.
Muntz takes the snap. He may have fumbled the football. He picks it back up, but I think he had his knee on the ground. And he's going to lose a yard, I believe.
Yeah, that exchange between the center and the quarterback was not clean at all. Pennsville fortunate that they were able to retain possession.
Third down and goal, 1:16 to go, Middle up 7-0. Third down and goal from the 2. Unbalanced line to the left. They hand it off to McDade. He's hit. Dives forward. And there's no signal that he's in, so he is short.
Well,
This could be the game again. So with 50 seconds left, and now Pennsville's going to take a timeout. We'll keep it here. So it's going to be 4th and goal from the 1 with 51 seconds to play in the game. And Middle Township needs a stop here, with Middle leading it 7-0 with 51 seconds to go.
Oh, you don't want to put the cart before the horse, but the speculation will be if Pennsville's able to get to 6.
Right, do they go for 2?
They go for 2.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple things on the table here. It's if Pennsville gets the touchdown, do they go for 2 to try to take the lead with less than 50 seconds to play, or if Middle Township gets a stop at the 1-yard line, does Middle Township take a safety on their own? But we got a long way to go before thinking about any of this. So we'll play one play at a time here, buddy. We'll use our old coach speak. 51 seconds to go. Pennsville out of the timeout. They trail 7-0. And they have the ball at the Middle Township 1-yard line.
Well, I know. If I'm Pennsville, I'm giving the ball to McDade.
We'll see what middle does here. They got a blitz from the middle, you would think. Muntz goes up to the line, pushing forward. I don't know if he got in. There's been no signal. He did not get in Middle Township with the stop. And they stop Pennsville at the 1-yard line with 44 seconds to go, leading 7-0. What a defensive stand there by Middle Township inside its own 5-yard line. And now again, if you're Middle, buddy, with 44 seconds to go, rather than risking a turnover at your own 1-yard line, and they're going to call a timeout here, and this may be strategy here, Middle may elect to take a safety. And again, there's only 44 seconds left. What you're risking is if you take the safety, then you free kick from your own 20. Pennsville's going to get the ball at worst around midfield, you would think, and then a touchdown beats you. That's the only problem.
Yeah, and there's plenty of time.
Yeah, and what you might just do is put Nab up under center and have him take a couple quarterback sneaks. Because the other strategy that goes involved in this too, buddy, is that Pennsville only has 2 timeouts left. So if Middle can successfully run the ball forward 3 times, in theory, they're going to run the game out. Yeah, because Pennsville's only got 2. They can only stop the clock twice. So I think maybe taking the safety isn't the smartest thing here, but you certainly just cannot fumble the football. I think you have to put Nab up under center.
I agree.
You can't risk a shotgun snap here.
Nab under center, quarterback sneak, just get a little push forward.
And Nab is under center. Takes the snap. And he got nowhere. He might have even lost a half a yard.
And that's going to force Pennsville to call that timeout with 35 seconds.
Yeah, but again, even if Nab is tackled in the end zone, it's not the worst thing in the world. But again, if Middle can just successfully move the ball forward or at least get back to the line of scrimmage 2 more times, they win the football game. Pennsville can only stop the clock 1 more time. They have 1 timeout left.
No, absolutely. Even Brian, if Middle can, if Nab can move the ball 1 more time, just field the snap cleanly and take more time off the clock, the less time on the clock, maybe then you take the safety.
Well, the point being, buddy, is that Pennsville can only stop the clock one more time.
Exactly.
So, if you can just move the ball forward twice, you win the game. So, Nab will go under center. Oh, Pennsville may have jumped offside. I believe Pennsville just jumped offside. That's going to move the ball out to the 6, and that basically, with 2 snaps, buddy, ends the football game. Pennsville can only stop the clock one more time. That second snap, Middle can run the clock out. So Nab here should just take a knee.
Absolutely.
Take the snap, take a knee. And he does that. And Pennsville has taken its final timeout.
32 seconds.
Yeah, so all middle has to do is successfully snap the football here, and they win, leading at 7-0 with 32 seconds left on third down here, and about 6. The distance really doesn't matter at this point, but Pennsville cannot stop the clock. So all middle has to do is snap the football, take a knee, and the game will be over. And it's not often, buddy, that you see a high school football game where a team scores on its first possession of the game and then there's not another point scored for the entire football game.
Yeah, needless to say.
All right, here we go. It's third down, and Middle just has to snap it, take a knee, and they win. And they do that as Pennsville comes flying through the line, but Pennsville can't stop the clock anymore. And that's going to do it. Middle Township's going to win the football game here 7-0. They do not have to line up as the clock is running down with 15 seconds to go. And Middle Township, what an effort here, defensively especially, as they win it 7-0 over Pennsville.
Yeah, just an
what a great football game, buddy.
It really was. I mean, was there times, it was a little sloppy, there were turnovers, but you know what? It was both ways. Both of these teams came out trying to get this win tonight, and it became a defensive battle, and you really got to give a lot of credit to Middle Township and their defense.
They stopped Pennsville on 3rd and goal from the 1 and 4th and goal from the 1 on their final possession, and they win it 7-0. What a football game. The only points of the game, Middle's first offensive possession, Jeremiah Jones' 17-yard run, and Jerome Licata's kick, and that is the only